Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Aries. So Aries, as always, I'm doing a reading with my own deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Aries, your reading today has one word that can summarize your message today, and the word is detachment. You could be feeling detached from a group, from your family, even from yourself. And I feel like there is this attempt, and it's like in every single area of your life that you're trying to see the best in it, but somehow there's something inside of you, perhaps, fears or insecurities or whatever it is that you're not it's just not flowing, or at least you're feeling like it's not flowing and it's not helping, right? But I feel like there is this, it's almost like this annoyance because you are too still, which is something that I've been seeing this growing movement, this intensity in this environment coming through the recent readings, right? Especially since the Aquarius reading. So for you, Aries, I feel like it's almost like you are upset that you're not moving as well, or that you are not moving in this fast pace that you're seeing everyone else moving, or the world around you moving, right? Because you start off with the Five of Pentacles, and this card specifically for you today, because it's the opening card and it sets the tone for the entire message. This card was, you know I don't know if you've had the chance to, start learning how to meditate, or if you are already, a meditator, if you practice meditation, sitting, with your crossed legs and trying to close your eyes and meditate. I feel like, generally Aries has a more challenging time with just being still, just because of your nature, right? Your energetic nature. But this is the atmosphere, this is the sensation that I'm having from this Five of Pentacles. It's like having to hold a position still, right? Having to stay, sat down in a what should be a comfortable position, but not finding comfort, right? That's the thing. The Ten of Cups next, right? This is the ultimate comfort. This is the ultimate embracing. This is the ultimate, family cozy time that you should find rewards in it. You should find this moment to relax and recharge with your family, right? But I feel like, and this card, the 10, to me, it's interesting because you also have the 10 of Swords right underneath the 10 of the 10 of Cups, sorry. But it's like, it feels like there's something that is, at least for you, right, that is working against you finding peace, you finding comfort, right, in this stillness, because this is mostly what is coming through here with your first card, right? But it's like it's almost like there is this counter force, right? It's like, if you want to find comfort, right, if you are sitting down to meditate, if you are trying to find your place, right, this Five of Pentacles is a card that usually brought me this idea of a specific location, right? But recently it's been talking more about self, about individual, right? About us as, one individual. But so this is almost like trying to find your own individual, unique, special place, right? Where you belong, perhaps. And the first place that you're trying to find it's like, or to find yourself, is at home, is with family, is where, you know, you come from, where it's like where you naturally would belong, right? So this is the first, it's like your first resource or your first attempt, right, to find this connection, right? But feeling completely disconnected, because it's almost like you're in another vibration. It's almost like you're in it's almost like you're on a league of your own, right? It's like whoever is in this family, right, of yours, it's like they are they have their own sync, they have their own connection, they have their own way of interacting, that whenever you try to fit in or you try to, you know, settle down with them, it's almost like there is this, it's again, it's like this agitation, right? Perhaps because of this, because there is this counter force that is acting, you know, against you being able to feel the warmth, being able to feel the receptivity, being able to feel the comfort, right? That you're trying to find, exactly because when you're trying to find your place, it's almost like there is this discomfort, right? It's like you cannot hold still in one position for long, right? And that could give you, Aries, the sense of not belonging, of not finding your place, of not knowing where is your place. And therefore, you know, because this card is like meaning both, right? Your place but yourself, right? So it's almost like you're attaching both meanings into one thing, right? And so if you cannot find your place, home, because this is where you would generally find protection, right? With the Tower coming next, it's like you you want peace, you want love, you want comfort, you want protection, you want to be home, you want to be with family, right? It's like these are all good and truthful intentions, right? It's like this is what you desire, this is what you want, this is what you're attempting to get to, right? But feeling detached. So it's almost like the more you try to see the bright side of this, the more you try to see, you know, how you have already all of the conditioning, all of the environmental conditions to create a happy life, right? Or to find joy or to find happiness, right? It's like this is not what you're perceiving, right? So it's almost like externally, you know, for everyone else that looks into your life, right? You know, just secretly spies through the keyhole, right? And perceives your life from this external point of view, Aries. It's like they would see, you know, a very incredible, warm family that is, you know, very supportive, you know, a home that is very secure, that is very well founded, that is very protective, right? And a possibility of everything going right, right? So why is that you're feeling detached from all of this? Because I feel like, you know, in another person's eye, this is what your life looks like. But you know, and this is interesting because at first, this card, you know, would bring me this sensation of, you know, being very close to finding this X on the map, right? Usually I saw this card as this treasure hunt map, right? You know, pointing towards the place, the location, the um, just where the gold would be or where the treasure would be, right? Where you would find what you were looking for. But So as I said, recently this card has been signifying more than ever self, and it's almost like the treasure hunt itself. It's not on the outside, but it's more, in finding yourself, right? In finding peace with being who you are, where you are, right? Without having to go on a treasure hunt, right? And so there is this transition, I want to say, from seeing that and perhaps accepting that, right? And so that's the reason why I feel like everything that is surrounding you and that you're trying to find your place, you know, in a happy family, in a cozy home, in a life that is, satisfactory, right? And to me, the sun also plays this bigger role of, awareness and consciousness, and, the sunlight that is able to guide us through, joyful times, right? Happy times. So it's almost like this all-knowing, right? Energy that is very warming, right? That, just embraces us with this joy. But there is this, it's almost like you see all of this, but it's almost like, how can this be my life when I don't feel like I fit in, right? So there is this dissonance, or there is this what is the word, is it, well, perhaps that's the thing, right? With the Ten of Swords following all of this, what is supposed to feel good, right? What was this warm, cozy, protective, supportive environment or sense of awareness, right? So there's perhaps like this cognitive dissonance, right? That is the word that, this card is representing very strongly, Aries. It's like perhaps perhaps you're thinking too much, or perhaps I want to say you're trying too hard, right? With the Eight of Pentacles, this is the effortless effort that perhaps you're missing, right? It's like with the Five of Pentacles, perhaps you're being too self-aware, if that makes sense. It's like if you're trying to become conscious, it's almost like you're too rational or you're too conscious of self, right? So it's almost like you will not find comfort, or you will not find this warming embrace from another if you are perhaps too judgmental of your own self, right? Or of the environment itself, right? Of trying to see one thing but see another, trying to feel one thing and feel another, right? And so this Eight of Pentacles, because to me the fives are self, and to me the eights are where the relationship is bonded, right? Because there is like this overlapping of two fives, right? It's like meeting in the middle, like being in the same frequency. It's like lining up, right? Aligning to one another. So this is what you want, but this is like what the perception that you're having, right? Perhaps with this intense, it's like just intense mental attempt to try to figure it out or try to see it. It's almost like trying to force yourself into perceiving what others are perceiving of your life, right? I hope this makes sense, because it's almost like you're seeing this lining up, this alignment, as hard work. It's like you're trying too hard, you're thinking too hard. It's like you don't have this joy or this spontaneity, or just the fun of living your life, because perhaps you're too worried that you have to acknowledge it, that you have to see it, that you have to work hard to be fun or to have fun. It's almost like, it's like this counteractive force. It's like you're trying too hard, or you're working too hard to make it fun, but fun, fun just is fun, right? You don't have to work hard to have fun. So it's almost like you're perhaps you're imposing too much on yourself, right? You are it's like you're asking too much of yourself, right? Or it's like you're okay, so this card might help me in this end here for this part, Aries. With the King of Cups, right? This is the card that talks about compassion, and most of all, self-compassion. So it's only right here at the end that the guidance comes for you, Aries, because I feel like so far, and with these two paired up, in the sense that perhaps you're the one that is just putting this heavy weight on yourself, because it's almost like you're making your life harder just because it's almost like you're creating your own negative tower experience when it should be one that fulfills you, when it should be one that embraces you, that gives you this support, that gives you this comfort, right? And so this feeling of detachment, I want to say, is because maybe you're trying to force something too much, right? Or it's like you're trying to force a happiness that perhaps you're not feeling, and therefore because you're not feeling, it's almost like you're feeling even more detached from it, right? So but that's because of this, right? It's like perhaps you're trying to rationalize something that should be effortless. It's like bonds are not supposed to be like demanding, or not supposed to be something that asks too much of you, right? It's not supposed to be hard work, right? When this card flows naturally, meaning when the relationship is just a natural connection, right? One that is supportive, one that is comforting. It's like it doesn't ask for hardship or for like this it's almost like this exaggeration of how much effort you're trying to put into seeing yourself in a good place, right? So it's almost like you are you not being self-compassionate, right? It's like why it's like that is the message from the King of Cups, right? Why aren't you giving this comfort for yourself? Why are you fighting against yourself, right? Because it's almost like the counteractive force here from the Ten of Swords. I feel like it's coming from you, right? It's like your internal mind. It's almost like you're self-sabotaging, but when everything that is asked from you, instead of this hard work to force a situation or to create, or to make yourself connected, right? Because that's what you're supposed to feel when you're with your family, right? Or when you should be in an environment that is protective, right? It's like this is how things should be, or this is how things are supposed to feel like, when we think of family, when we think of home. But it's just like I feel like you're fighting against yourself, Aries, and you're not listening to your heart, right? It's almost like there is this battle that is going on between your heart and your mind, right? And that is creating the imbalance. That is creating the exhaustive feeling that is like, it's almost like you're working against yourself, basically, right? It's like by trying so hard, by working so hard to fit in or to connect, when this should be like spontaneous, right? And effortless, right? It's like when something should be effortless, why are you putting so much effort into it? Because it's lacking compassion, right? It's lacking this natural, spontaneous connection, right? It's like when there is love, the connection just flows. It is fluid, right? It just is. It just locks into one another, right? but there's something about you thinking about too much of this connection, of this bond, of this relationship, of this warmth, of wanting to feel it but not feeling it, that you're not being compassionate with yourself, right? And I feel like this is what you're being asked to do since the first card, right? It's like, try to still yourself, like sit still, right? In order to feel this. Because right now it's almost like you're trying to think about it, right? Or work on this. And it's just coming the opposite way that you intended, right? So being compassionate, it's like really like be generous with yourself instead of, perhaps trying to seek this comfort from your family. It's like give it to yourself first, right? It's like allow yourself to show, it's like give yourself what you are seeking in others or in other places or in other environments, right? This is why you are in stillness, and this is why you are itching, right? It's interesting because I feel like this is like a theme for now, right? There's something that is itching, but in different ways for different signs, right? So I just feel like saying it's like sit in stillness and just connect to your heart, because the effort that you're trying to put in right now will flow effortlessly, right? Will be joyous and spontaneously so, right? So Aries, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to pull more cards for you as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be happy to see you, and you can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.